Let's see. Whoa, that's not good. Turn that off. All right, hold on. Let some people get on here. Oh, we do it that way. Is that good? Let's see. How's everybody doing? Good evening. I'm gonna wait for everybody to get on like we always do. And then we're gonna talk some really cold air and some snow, not here in South Florida, but yes, my old stomping ground, South Jersey. Could be looking at a pretty heavy hit here as we get into Monday. Let's let everybody get in, and then we'll start getting into it. It does look very, very interesting. And like we did last time, let's usually what I try to do is I keep the questions till the end. I don't want to do that this time because a lot of times I'll forget about answering questions. And so obviously you guys have important questions on your mind. So feel free, as I'm going through all of this, if something comes to your mind, just feel free, ask the question right away, and I will try to get to it. About 400 people. Let's just let everybody get in because I want to make sure everybody hears this. This is, if you think about it, when you look at last year and the winter previous to that, there has not been a lot of snow in Philadelphia, and especially areas south and east. So it's been a few years. This has the potential to be a sizable, significant snowstorm for the Philadelphia area. So I have terminology, okay, and I wrote it down right here. This is the way I word things, so you guys know, moving forward, because there's not just this system. There's going to be a couple more that we're going to have to watch. Obviously, there's this one, but there's another sneaky event that's going to get into the Philadelphia area over the weekend. There's another one as we get into, I believe it's the end of next week. It doesn't mean they're all huge storms, but there's going to be these little events here that there's a big pocket of cold air or a trough in the east. These things are just kind of rounding the bend and going, through the eastern half of the United States. So here's the terminology as far as snowfall is concerned, okay? What I consider a light snow might be something different than what you consider a light snow, but here's what I consider light. 1 to 3 inches, okay? That's a light snowfall. A moderate snowfall, I go 4 to 6. Heavy snowfall is 7 to 12, and then anything over 12, that's what you'll hear me say, the big one, okay? So right now I've got this as a moderate to heavy snowfall, meaning 4 to 6 or 7 to 12. There's going to be a few bands that set up. So what I'll do here is, first let me talk about the cold pushing all the way down into South Florida, because believe me when I tell you, South Floridians are not acclimated to what's about to hit the area. It's going to be really, really cold. I was in Orlando. We were at Disney World. I want to say it was the weekend before Christmas. And we had a couple mornings where the temperature was 39, 40, right there. And I was freezing. Now, I wasn't dressed right. I didn't have a sweatshirt or a coat or anything like that. I just had, short sleeve t-shirt, and jeans. So obviously I'd be chilly. But look, can you imagine you're on vacation in Disney World and you're waking up to temperatures in the 30s? It's not what you call a vacation if you like warm weather. Okay, we got a pretty good amount of people on here now. So let's get into it. First, real quick, let me just say this here. If you didn't hear, I just want to say that, Cecily, we're all thinking about you, Cecily Tynan. If you didn't hear, she lost her mom. I think it was yesterday or what's today? It was either yesterday or early this morning, but she lost her mom. And so, you're in our thoughts, you're in our prayers. We hope you're okay. And please reach out to me, whenever you get a chance. And all of us, not just me, but everybody on here right now, we're all thinking about you, okay? We love you. Okay, let's get into this weather, okay? Here we go. Let's have some fun. Okay, so we're going to start out with, now this is West Palm Beach. And again, remember, if I'm showing highs in the 50s, If you're someone that's in the mid-Atlantic or Northeast right now, you're probably thinking, oh, that sounds great because it's been freezing cold up there. But for Florida, that's especially South Florida, it's really, really chilly. The normal high for this time of the year in West Palm Beach is 74, okay, just to kind of give you an idea. So we're going to start you out here. What's going to happen is, again, we'll get the Florida stuff out of the way first because there is a threat to the citrus crop. And then we will talk about the potential snowstorm in the mid-Atlantic. So you got a front coming in here. This is Friday night. The high drops down to 66. Now, this is right here in West Palm Beach. The Treasure Coast is going to be colder. Look at the low. It's not terrible, okay, but it's chilly. We get a one-day bounce here, 80. Here comes the next front. Now, this 72 is after midnight. We're falling all day here. And then look at this here. Okay, this is really chilly. Remember, the normal high is 74, 41, 43. Look at the 38. Imagine if you're on vacation in West Palm Beach and you're waking up to 38 degrees. No bueno. That is not good. Here's the high, 62, 50. Wow. Woo, 58. The normal is 74. That's really chilly. And you can see temperatures stay fairly chilly. We get another bounce here. Now, this is on the 14th, and then we drop it right back down again. So there's going to be a series of fronts, one here, and one here. On the air today, I was talking about how we're just kind of getting attacked with fronts from the northwest. Here's my area, okay? This is the Stewart area, and temperatures are even colder. Here's your first front coming in, down to 64 for the weekend on Saturday, and barely 70 on Sunday. And then look at the overnight lows here, 45, 45, 42, 61, 57, 60. That's the highs, 8th, 9th, and 10th of January. And then we sort of pull out of the gutter here, get into the low 70s again by the 14th. And we see another one-day spike. Here comes the next front. Remember, this day on the 15th, we're falling all day, and then we drop back down. So, that's here in the West Palm area. But I want to show you guys how expansive this cold air is. So remember, that is very chilly for this part of the area. Here's International Falls, okay? Now, granted, there's another town in the Colorado Rockies. I forget what it's called, but International Falls and that town in the Rockies are regarded as the icebox of the nation. Okay, so this is always a cold area. Look at the numbers here. My gosh, yellows are highs, blues are cold. I mean, you're not getting above freezing again until, what day is that? The 12th of January, and that's only 2 degrees. And then look at this, you're dropping right back down. So you've got lows, negative 15, negative 16, negative 12. My gosh. All right, let's do Philadelphia. Let's see what we're looking at in the city of brotherly love. It's cold. That's some cold stuff here. So 40, that was today. 40, 41, something like that. 38 Friday. Pair of 33s here for Saturday and Sunday. And then you get into some really cold stuff here. 28, 28, 26, 25. Look at the lows. 18, 22, 14. Now, keep in mind, it's a model. All right, it's what we call a deterministic, individual deterministic run. They might not be, the numbers might not be exact. So, for example, that one night where the low was 14, maybe the low was 16. But you get the idea. It's going to be really, really cold. And then you can see a little bit of a rebound here. At least you get above freezing again. That's on the 10th. The 11th is 34. And then you get a couple days here, and then wham, you're right back into the icebox. That's some cold stuff. One of the places I like to go to vacation in the winters, Lake Placid. My wife and I, we go here a lot. We do skiing in Whiteface Mountain there. Ooh, that's some cold stuff there, too. Look at the highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days in a row where you're barely getting into the double digits. Overnight lows below 0. Not last winter, the winter before, we skied Whiteface Mountain, 20 below with the wind. It was, funny thing was, we were sweating because, I mean, you're skiing, right? So we were sweating, but man, it was cold. All right, Jacksonville. Let's get to the potential for the citrus crop, okay? See the lows here? See what we're doing here? I mean, look at some of these. Now, remember, this is for Jacksonville. We already have freeze warnings up for the suburbs of Jacksonville, and you've got these citrus farms all over the place, okay? So look at the lows here. This one in particular, this is going to be the morning of the 10th, where the low is 26. How about Orlando, the home of Disney World? I'm sorry, this is Chicago. MCO is Orlando. MCO. I was about to say, man, it's going to be cold in Orlando. Okay, same thing. See the lows here? These are not as bad, but this is in Orlando. Some of the suburbs actually we're talking about temperatures dropping down into the 20s, okay? So you get the idea, all right? It's going to be pretty cold. This is a big shot of cold air. And here's the reason why, okay? This is what we're looking at. There's this massive trough that's going to set up in the east. Let's talk about the snowstorm now. So I won't get into, remember, last time you tuned in, I think it was Monday, I identified the pattern first. And then I got into the, ensemble data. We're not going to do that this time. The pattern is here. It's already in place now. Big dome of cold air. And then what's going to happen here is, by the way, East Coast, West Coast. You see how you got this little ridge here? This is where all your warm air is. All right, this is what we call, actually I won't get into that yet because I'm going to confuse the heck out of you. This right here, you see the dip in the jet? So dips in the jet are referred to as troughs, okay? Ridges in the jet, like this right here, see it going up? That's what we call a ridge. Ridge is warm, trough is cold. All right, so your seesaw is going this way. Okay, this is all cold air in the east. That right there is a really cold area of low pressure. All right, so let's set it in motion. Here's the Philadelphia area. This is the mid-Atlantic right here into the mountains of the Appalachians. This is your snowstorm area right here. Okay, so let's get into it. So this is Friday. Look at the cold. Look at how expansive this thing is. It drops all the way down. Okay, now, here is a piece of energy. This is your storm, okay, the mid-Atlantic. This is it. It's coming on. Let me rewind it real quick. Okay, there it is, right there. It's coming on shore early, let's see. Okay, so this is Friday night. It's right there, okay? That's Washington State and Oregon. All right, so it's coming on shore early Saturday morning. Watch it jump the Rockies, right there, okay? Boom. Now it's on the Front Range, okay? See it? Colorado Front Range, right there. Okay, you still got the seesaw going down here in the east. It is cold. Now watch what happens. This is, if you read my post earlier, I showed possible snowfall accumulations off the deterministic models, which I'm going to show you the latest update here in a second. What makes this tricky, okay, this is not set in stone. What's going to make this tricky is this really cold feature to the north. How far to the north it is. Is it so strong that it suppresses the storm to the south? Or, because this is an overrunning moisture situation, will this lift farther to the north? So let me show you here what I'm talking about. Here comes the storm, massive dome of cold air right here. Okay, so what's going to happen is, you see it right there? The core of it works off the coast. That's Maine right there. Here's New Jersey, PA. Here comes your low. Okay, we are early Monday morning. Okay, really early Monday morning. See that feature there? Ideally, see, that's going to be it's going to be a really close call. You see how it's sitting there? This is not going to allow the low to come up. So you don't have to worry about a mix of rain or snow or anything like that. At least not in like the I-95 corridor area. But the question is this strong enough to keep this down here instead of lifting north into like Center City, for example, or some of those immediate surrounding suburbs? That's your feature right there. And see how it grows stronger as the day wears on Monday? So that's the only question that I have right now in my mind. Does this keep the heaviest snow band south of the city of Philadelphia? Or is the overrunning situation strong enough to say it doesn't matter that this is there, we're going to put some good snowfall in the city itself? Okay, there it is. Then watch what happens. Here comes another shot right here. This is the real deal as we get, not that this thing coming in this weekend isn't cold enough, but we get into, look at this, it extends all the way down. I mean, look at this. All the way down, huge trough as we get into the end of next week. And then the following weekend, another piece right there. It's just a very cold pattern. Okay, so here's a look at the lows Friday. Again, in Sunshine State, could be some citrus crop issues here. We're down into the 20s. Look at that pink. A lot of Florida in the 20s. Okay, all right, let's get into the snow, guys. Where are we? Right here. So this is 7 p.m. on Sunday. Remember, this is Zulu time. So 12Z is 7 a.m. 18Z is 1 p.m. 0Z is 7 p.m. 06Z is 1 o'clock in the morning. So this is going to be 7 p.m. on Sunday. Remember, as I set this in motion, blue is snow, a pinkish orange is a mix, and green is rain. The darker the colors, the heavier the precipitation is pegged to be. Okay, so this is the European model. Okay, now see where it says deterministic? This is not an ensemble. This isn't one of those ones that'll run 50 times and then you take the average blend, okay? We're well within 5 days now, so I'm not gonna use them. I'm gonna use the individually run deterministics, okay? Here we go. By the way, here's Philadelphia right about there. This is obviously New Jersey. Here's Pennsylvania. Here's the state of Delaware, eastern shores of Maryland, just to give you an idea where we are. Okay, here we go. So snow starts overspreading the area, and remember, temperatures are cold, okay? So every flake is going to stick. And because, another thing I just want to quickly point out, because the temperatures are so cold, this is expected to be a very light, fluffy, when I say light, the weight, it's going to be a light, fluffy snow. Now, you may get 6 to 12 inches of it, but the weight of it will be light. It's fluffy. Fluffy snow accumulates very fast. Okay, so every flake is going to stick here. So this is 4 o'clock in the morning. It's breaking out. There's 7 o'clock in the morning. Remember, the darker the colors, the heavier the precip. So now we're in a moderate snowfall here, and this is 7 in the morning Monday in South Jersey, southeastern Pennsylvania suburbs, the state of Delaware. This is really heavy snow right here. At this point, the roads are covered. Okay, it's going to be one of those situations where I guarantee you. Let's assume for a second that what you're seeing right here actually verifies. And remember, it's only Thursday. This could easily change. But let's assume for a second this verifies. I would assume a lot of the schools are going to be closed because the bulk of this is going to be falling during the day. Temperatures really never break out of the upper 20s. So, I mean, every single hour you're going to be below freezing. Again, every flake is going to stick. But if you do have to go to work and school, these roads are covered down here and probably covered by quite a bit already. All right, so that's 7 in the morning. Now we're at 10 in the morning. Heaviest snow, look where we are. Vineland, Franklinville, Cape May, it's snowing heavily. Dover, Middletown, Fortescue, Atlantic City. Moderate snow in places like Williamstown, Glassboro, Philadelphia, Camden, what's the town up there? Morristown, Trenton. You know, even up here in the Lehigh Valley, it's probably a pretty moderate snow at that point. Reading. What's the town? Warwick and Chester Springs, those areas, Pottstown, all those areas. It's probably a pretty moderate snow by 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. This is really heavy stuff here. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still moderately snowing across a large part of the area. All right, and then it's pulling away. Okay, there we go. Okay, now the GFS, here's the same thing. We'll start at the same time, 7 o'clock on Sunday. The GFS is very similar, okay? But, hold on. I did something wrong here. I apologize. Okay, there it is. Here it is, the GFS. So 7 o'clock in the morning, this is a moderate snow. But here's the difference. Remember I was saying that feature to the north, okay? Is it strong to where it suppresses everything south, or will this be an overrunning situation? What's interesting here with this model is it actually tries to put a little bit of a mixing down here across the southern Delmarva and the eastern shores of Maryland, probably all the way up to Ocean City, Maryland. You're going to have to watch that. That does happen sometimes with overrunning situations, okay? But it does break back down to snow. So now we're at 10 o'clock in the morning. Heavy snow, moderately snowing, light snow, okay? There is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It is still, I got to tell you, these models verify. This is a jackpot snowstorm for South Jersey and Delaware. You rarely hear that because it's usually north and west. This time it looks like south. And, as of now, again, all of this can change. I want to make sure I'm clear about that. But here's a look at where the heaviest on both models is. It's in South Jersey. Interesting. 1, 2, 3. That's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Still snowing very good in South Jersey. Your roads are covered. You're not going anywhere. Go to the grocery store. Get the eggs, the milk, and the fabric. No, I'm kidding. The roads will be clear the next day. Although, wait a minute. Although I got to tell you, given how cold it's going to be prior to this event and how cold it'll be afterwards, maybe not. Maybe those secondary roads. I remember I used to live in the Hunter Woods development in Williamstown. And whenever we would get snow, you know, my road would be snow covered for days. You know, I mean, it would be packed down. You could drive on it, but it would be snow covered for days. So, you know, maybe given how cold it is, maybe some of the main roads will probably be clear the next day, but the side roads definitely won't. This is 7 o'clock, and look at this. It's still snowing really good in parts of the area. And then it pulls away as we get into early Tuesday morning. So one thing that you notice is, one, the European gets in a little bit quicker, okay, than the GFS model. But the GFS model has an extended period. It's a little bit longer. It's snowing heavier, a little bit longer than the European model. Either way, both of them print out decent amounts of snow. All right, this is what you've been waiting for. Here's a look at the snow totals. Okay, remember this is, first up is going to be the European. So again, this is a West Virginia mountain snowstorm stretching east to the coast. Where does this heavy band set up? Okay, this model has it run in the Mason-Dixon line, Northern Virginia, the state of Maryland. There's a Chesapeake Bay right there. Here's a Delaware Bay. So this is Delaware and South Jersey. You can see the numbers. It's got a good 6 to 8 inches of snow in South Jersey. In some cases, it could be a little bit heavier. And to the north, it only has, 2, 3, 4 inches up there in the Lehigh Valley. Okay, so that's the European. GFS, look what the GFS is showing. Millville, it's got 10.5 inches. That right there, Woodbine, 10.5 inches. Atlantic City, almost 9. Williamstown, 7. Philadelphia, nearly 6. 10 in Dover, Delaware. Lehigh Valley, it's got 3 or 4. Chester Springs, Warwick, those areas, Chester County, 6, 7, 8 inches. So again, let me just show you, go back. European, GFS. European, GFS. The GFS is a little heavier, but they're in really good agreement right now, both of these models, okay? Given that we're still about, what is this, Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're still about 3.5 days out from the start of this event. These models are really in surprisingly good agreement here. European, and there's the GFS. Now, we're gonna up the stakes a little bit here. You guys ready? Okay, so what you just saw was the updates on both deterministic models, the two big global models that we use, the European, which is widely regarded as the most accurate forecast model out there, and the GFS, which has its moments. All right, overall, the European outscores the GFS when it comes to accuracy, but the GFS has its moments, okay? So here was the GFS. Now, this was the 12Z update, okay? What came out this morning? Look what happened during the 1 o'clock, the 18Z update. All right, so European early this morning, GFS early this morning, GFS this afternoon. Notice it lifting? Okay, so that is what we're going to have to watch. Now, remember, where is it? Here it is. Let me go back. This is the key to this whole mess. It's going to be that thing right there. Okay, you got your big upper level low. This little piece, again, is it strong enough to keep everything south? Or is it just there and the overrunning moisture really doesn't feel the influence of this? Okay, so that's going to really, that determines this whole thing. All right, so let's go back. Again, it's European, GFS, new GFS. That new GFS now has 9 inches in Philadelphia, 9 in Pottstown, almost 10 in western Chester County, 9 in Williamstown, 8 in Dover, 7 in Woodbine, 6.5 in Atlantic City, 7 in Cumberland County there, Millville. Notice you're not seeing the heavier amounts here like you did with the early morning update because it's expanding. All right, it's lifting to the north. Okay? Ooh, look at the Pittsburgh area. Wow. Jeez. Now that's an elevation here, 17, 18 inches. That's in the mountains. But man, whew, that's a good hit. Okay, now, those are the deterministic model runs. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you, at this point, I still look at the ensembles, okay, because, for example, you just saw the individual GFS and the individual European. Well, what if, for whatever reason, it initialized incorrectly? All right, then a lot of what you just saw there won't pan out exactly as you just saw. So what I do want to do is I will take a look here at the ensemble. And so let's see what it's showing here. Remember, the ensemble off this particular model was the European. It's run 50 times. And then you take the blend. So this is a decent hit right here, the first one. The first one has 10 inches of snow in Delaware and South, parts of Delaware and parts of extreme South Jersey. Second one's just a nuisance event, you know, maybe 2 to 3, 2 to 4 tops. Third one, even more of a nuisance event, maybe 1 to 2. Fourth one, that's a good hit. That's a good hit. If you're a snow lover, you like what you see here. Fifth one, nuisance event. Okay. Sixth one, right here. Pretty much nothing. Seventh one. Maybe 2 to 4 in South Jersey, 1 to 2 in Philly, and then maybe a swath of 3 to 6 or 4 to 8 in Delaware. This one right here, not much there. That's 7. It's not much there at all. The 8th one, nuisance event. 9th one, nuisance event. 10th one, that's a decent hit. 11th one is south, but it's got a 2 to 4, 3 to 6 in South Jersey. There's another one. It's just a nuisance event, nuisance event, nuisance event, because the heaviest is probably in Dover South. Let's go down here. You see what's going on here? Some of these, that's a good hit right there, that one. Which one is that? That is number 14. Again, if you're a snow lover, you want that. That's a good one. 15, 16, nuisance event. 17 is a good hit. I'm sorry. That's 5. I'm counting these the wrong way. That's number 5. They're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was counting this way. All right, so number 5, that's a good hit. Number 6 is a nuisance. Number 7 is a good hit. Number 8 is a moderate snowfall. And number 9 is a nuisance event. So that's 1 through 25. Here's 26 through 50. You know, some of these are good. That's a good hit right there. That's a good hit right there. That's a decent hit there. If you're a snow lover. Good hit, nuisance, decent, nuisance, decent, nuisance. South of there, maybe Delaware, Cape May County, maybe Southern Cumberland County. That's a good hit. Nuisance, 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 nuisance. Decent. Okay, so you get the idea? So again, this is not etched in stone. I do put more trust into those deterministic models now, okay? Because we are within 5 days. But you see what the ensembles are showing, okay? Some of them have big snowfalls in parts of the Philadelphia television market. Others, a lot of them didn't have much, okay? So what we're going to have to watch and see, and I'm doing another one of these tomorrow at 7:45. We'll see what that new update shows. But what we're going to have to see is, again, that little piece of energy that I showed you in southern Canada. What is that thing going to do? Because many of these models that you just saw on the ensemble, or many of the members of the ensemble, showed that piece of energy to the north just being too strong and kind of flexing its muscles and bullying its way in and forcing the heavy snow south, you know, from Dover south. So we'll see. Obviously, the ones that have the big hit in South Jersey, Delaware, and Philadelphia, they're the ones suggesting that that little piece of energy isn't going to have much influence on this storm at all. Okay, I have a couple more things that I want to show you. And, okay, this real quick. Remember, I was talking about how this is a very light, fluffy snow. Now, your standard snow ratio, and I know you're looking at a lot of numbers here. Let me show you what's going on here. Let me highlight. Okay. Your standard snow ratio is 10 to 1. What that means is 1 inch of liquid is equivalent to 10 inches of snow. That's your standard. That's if, like, let's say temperatures are close to freezing. Okay, 30, 31, 32, 33. It's usually, 33, it's probably getting less, but you get the idea. Somewhere around freezing, it's 10 to 1. The colder the storm gets, the higher that ratio or fluff factor becomes. Okay, so maybe your surface temperatures are 25 and 26. Now, instead of a 10 to 1 ratio, now you're 15 to 20 to 1. Okay, so here is the printout. Now, this is the GFS model. See, GFS. This is what I look at every day. These are some of the wonderful things. I know it's a lot to digest. But right here, here's the QPF, all right? Precipitation. It's printing out in liquid, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's printing out 0.6 of an inch. At 10 to 1 for Philadelphia, that's 6 inches of snow. But remember, the temperatures are cold. So this is probably a 15 to 1 storm at least. And there's probably going to be instances where it could be 20 to 1. So if you're printing out 0.6 of an inch at a standard 10 to 1, that's 6 inches of snow for Philadelphia. That's what the GFS suggests. But this is probably going to be a 15 to 1. So this particular model right here is showing about 9 inches of snow in the city. okay? Let's do the European. The European is not as bullish, okay? Not even close, actually. Here's the printout. 17 and 17 is 34, and 7 is 41, okay? Same thing. You do your standard 10 to 1. The European has 4 inches of snow. It's not a standard, okay? That's not going to be the standard ratio with this. At least, at a minimum, it's going to be 15 to 1. So instead of 4 inches, you're probably on this model looking at least 6, okay? And at some points, again, it could be even colder. So as of right now, and this is, look, this is going to change, guys. I'm telling you, it could be more, it could be less, but it's rare that even 3 days out, it hits dead on like what you're seeing right now. But as of right now, for Philadelphia, one model has 6, another model has 9. And here's how okay, where is it? 4 to 6 I have for a moderate snowfall. 7 to 12 is a heavy snowfall. Okay, that's how I classify it. So that's what we're looking at, okay? All right, I got to record something soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to answer as many as I can. Somebody let me know, because I always lose track of time. Somebody let me know when it's 8:20, and then I'll get off and I'll get ready for the recording. Okay, let's see. Questions. What do we got? Heading to Marco Island? If you are, congratulations. That's a beautiful part of Florida. I haven't been there yet, but that's somewhere I'd like to definitely visit. We also want to go to the Keys. That's on the to-do list since we got down here. Haven't gotten there yet. Let's see. So far, so good. Did you? Yes, I did. I saw Cecily's mom. We are all very sad about that. And again, she's in our thoughts and prayers. I reached out to her today. Make sure you guys, say something to her on her Facebook. She would love that. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Kathy and Steve in Belmar, New Jersey. Enjoy your updates. Thank you very much. Looking forward to all your dungeon reports from Easton, PA, home of the Easton assassin, Larry Holmes. How are you, Irene? Missing you on my weekend mornings. And I miss you guys, too. But I got a really, just so you guys know, I got a really good thing going down here. So I'm going to miss you guys terribly. But we are happy here. I miss the snow, and I miss the cold. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys get 6 to 12 inches of snow, I'm going to be very upset. And I might even have to take a flight and fly back up there next weekend just so I can sled in it. But, it is what it is. We'll do some vacationing up there in the Adirondacks later this winter, and I should at least get some snow and cold. Let's see. Let's see. Not too many. Okay, or at least maybe not in this part. There's a lot of questions. So we're at 16. I got 4 more minutes. Sorry. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna do this, okay? Because a lot of people are starting to ask about individual numbers. So let me try. Let's do this again, okay? Now this is the GFS Global. Okay, so, all right, here's a look at the Philadelphia television market. And you happen to be ground zero for this storm. You guys and the higher elevations out here in western Pennsylvania, obviously you're going to have very high snow ratios here. I mean, we were talking about the Philly area going 15 to 1 minimum. This is probably 20 to 1 minimum, maybe colder, maybe 25 to 1. It's going to be really cold in the higher elevations. Okay, so... all right, Cape May County. Let's do, on this model, it's got Cape May. Geez, it's got 6 or 7 inches even in downtown Cape May. It's got, the Fortescue area, it's got probably 8 to 10. The villas, it's probably got 6 or 7. Up there in Atlantic County, I know there's a small community called Dorothy, and there's Magnolia, and all these other little areas, probably 6 to 8. Williamstown, Glassboro, Pittman, Washington Township, probably 6 or 7 on this model. Philadelphia, probably a 4, 5, or 6 inch event on this model. Let's see, what's there? There's towns I'm forgetting. Notice the lighter stuff up here to the north, okay? That's remember, you're on the fringes of this. Usually it's north and west, it gets pummeled, and south and east, you got to worry about rain or a mix or something. North and west this time around, Easton, maybe 2 or 3. Allentown, 3, maybe 4. Poconos, 2 or 3. Quakertown, maybe 3 or 4. Doylestown, 4 or 5. Levittown, 4 or 5. Trenton, 3 to 5, somewhere in there. Lancaster, 6 or 7, maybe 8. Reading, 4 or 5. Again, that's on this particular model. Hopefully I named the town you're looking for. And it's really close. These are currents, okay? It's really close. European is very close to the GFS. This one only has Allentown at about 3. Philly at 6. Williamstown, almost 8. Millville, Vineland, 8. The Cumberland Regional High School area, about 8. 8 there in Woodbine and some of those areas that are really kind of just like in the middle of nowhere there in northern Cape May County. You're getting into Pine Barren country, probably 8 or 9 inches on this model. 7 in Atlantic City, Willingboro, maybe 5. Trenton, maybe 4 on this one. Quakertown, 3. Doylestown, 3. Reading, Pottstown, 3 or 4. Philly Northeast, maybe 3. Wilmington, maybe 6 or 7. Middletown, 6 or 7. Dover, 8. See that 9.7 there in southern Delaware? That is, the name escapes me. Georgetown. That's Georgetown, Delaware. Okay, 16. Look at that. Gosh, that's big time for the skiing areas out there. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna have to go because I have to record something. But thank you so much. We had almost 2,000 people on here again. So I really appreciate the trust. I really appreciate that you guys tune in like this. I miss you guys just like you're saying you miss me. And I hope you guys had a great Christmas and happy holiday season. Good New Year. Let's do this again. Same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow, 7:45. I'll show you the very latest on the cold. I'll show you the very latest on the projected snowfall, the latest on the potential damage to the citrus crops there in Florida. And then that'll take us into the weekend, okay? You guys take care, and I'll see you again the same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.